Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
Entering in, settling down, opening up, gathering round, entering in, settling down, opening up, gathering round, Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom. Entering in, settling down, opening up, gathering round, entering in, settling down, opening up, gathering round, Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom.
Again, Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
We have arrived at this moment of Erev Rosh Hashanah 5782. Even in a year of global crisis, when life is changing at an alarming speed, our Jewish spiritual tradition provides a steady cadence and the tools to cut through the chaos, to find the sacred within and beyond the turbulence. While we are struggling with COVID and its variants, this year we have a group here with us in the sanctuary, and we are streaming to a majority of our Beth Chaim community and other friends at home. This hybrid model is likely to be how we do services for the foreseeable future. Note, we who are leading are still getting up to speed and ask for your patience and understanding. For those of you who are at home, who streamed into our High Holy Days last year, we remind you that it's going to be a little different this year. Those who are gathered with us here in the sanctuary will be praying and singing with our Hazzanut group, our cantorial group, and we're so grateful for your presence. And we hope your energy will be felt by those who are participating from home. The sound will be different for those of you at home. We hope it will be even more inviting into this place of prayer. For people present here, whenever we play a video for the folks at home, it will be projected here on the wall and you will hear the sound. Preparing for this tefillah, these services has been, as always, a great preparation for the new year. We did this with a great mixture of excitement and a good deal of trepidation. Many of us are still separated from family and friends, and we are all here, ready to enter this new year together. So our prayer tonight is that we appreciate the hopeful miracle of this new challenge of being together on Erev Rosh Hashanah. From behind the masks that shield our faces here in the sanctuary and across the distances that spatially separate us, we are still able to feel connected to each other and enter the spiritual adventure of these Yamim Noraim, these days of awe together. If you're at home, we hope you have a copy, either printed out or on a separate device, of our High Holy Day Machzor, our High Holy Day prayer book. Our additional page was also sent out, and it too is downloadable from the website. We hope that you will sing with us. Open your hearts in prayer with us and connect across the boundaries of space and time. On the top of page 2 in our High Holy Day Machzorim is an essential concept for our days of awe. Return, Shuvah. We sing a song of return, a prayer of return that you can find on your tefillah page number 10. Number 10. It will lead, and we, all of us, are invited to respond, to celebrate our returning.
We return.
We return.
We return.
We return.
We return. Return again. We return.
We return.
We return.
We return.
We return. Return again and again to love. We return again to love. We return. We return. We return. Return again. We return. We return. We return. Return again and again to truth. We return again to truth. Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Haresh Yameinu Kekei
We are so grateful to have Eve Decker, our wonderful song leader, providing her sweet guitar music and bringing all of her soulfulness and deep spiritual connectedness to our community. Thank you. Thank you. My beloved Zoe Francesca, who has been leading services with me for the past year and a half, brings her deep love of tefillah, prayer, and beautiful, rich voice into our leadership. And throughout the High Holy Days, we're blessed to have our veteran Hazzanut group member, Drew Porter, leading with us as well. Thank you, Drew.
You're quite welcome.
We so miss the normal Hazzanut group. Judith Markowitz, Jeff Reitzis, Nancy Orgel, Laura Ben, Beth Siegel, Bonnie Broers, Mark Mazer, and Bonnie Edelson. We miss you and know that you are here with us in spirit. We're also so grateful for the work that Mark Garretts has done for our community as our director and tech supervisor throughout the High Holy Days and all of our services since last Rosh Hashanah. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. We also have some special guests, friends at Beth Chaim, including Rachel Mazer, who has sung with us for so many High Holy Days in the past and now has a flourishing career as a professional musician. We're grateful that she's recorded some special prayers and shares her enormous gifts with us during these High Holy Days. My brother David, who has chanted Torah for our community for more than 2 decades, is here with us and will be participating in the Torah service on both Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. In addition, my sister-in-law, Leslie Goblad, who is here with my brother Bernie, will be chanting Torah on Rosh Hashanah tomorrow, and you're in for a very special treat. In the midst of all of this craziness, we are so blessed. So let us take a deep cleansing breath together, creating community by connecting with one another in the ways we can, breathing with one another to unite our individual sanctuaries into this combined in-person and virtual sanctuary tonight on the eve of this new year. It is a liminal moment. We hope you are in a place to join us with your full presence. It asks quite a lot of you. It asks that you feel yourself to be a full participant in this journey. Please join us. Kol hanshama tehalel ya hallelujah. With every breath, we praise the source of wonder. In a time when an airborne virus threatens our very existence, we have the audacity, the chutzpah, to continue to say these words. That is the refrain of this beautiful prayer by Laor, a remarkable Jewish sacred singer who's able to capture something essential about the soaring quality of prayer. Please join in with our Hazzanut group as we sing a simple refrain, and we will see where Eve takes us. It's called Hymn to the Soul and invites us into our most soulful place.
Oh, 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 הנשמה להלליה, הללויה. כל הנשמה להלליה, הללויה.
Please turn to page 2 in our Machzorim. At the bottom, where you'll find a beautiful meditation on Rosh Hashanah by my late teacher and dear friend, Rabbi David Wolf Blank. May his memory be a blessing. We'll do this responsively by line. Please join Zoe in the response. I will begin. It is Tishrei, the 7th month.
The Shabbat of months, the ripening of the year.
Nature turns inside, we hear.
Holiness calling to each of us. Ayeka,
Where are you? Are you hiding?
hiding from me, hiding from yourself.
Hineni, each of you has the chance to respond.
Hineni, here I am. I'm not hiding any longer.
Here I am.
I may not know what to do, but
I am ready enough to say, Hineni, Hineni. We turn to page 5, third line from the top. We invite you to rise in body or spirit as Zoe lights the candles that help us usher in the new will sing Lahadlik Ner Shel Yom Tov. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu Continue on page 5 with the Shehechianu blessing for this new year, 5782. God, source of all healing, we are grateful to you for the gifts of our lives, for caring for us, sustaining us, and for being our companion as we arrive, thrive, grow, and heal in every moment. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen. Amen. Have a seat. Rosh Hashanah is a time to dream new dreams. Right now, as we welcome the new year, invited to take a moment to look into these candles and take a moment to begin to dream. Connect to the warmest wishes of our hearts for this new year. Again on page 5, join us in this wake-up call, a kavanah, a spiritual intention for the prayer in which we recognize that every blessing we offer, every blessing we receive flows to us from the source of all blessing. We pre-recorded this prayer so that our Hazzanut group member, Jeff Reitzes, could participate. Jeff will do the call, and we're all invited to respond. Please rise in body or spirit for the Borchu on page 5. Am I awake?
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yalla lie lie lie, 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 yalla lie lie lie. Barehu et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Le'olam
seat. In the last paragraph on page 5, we'll begin with our High Holy Day Nigun, which leads us into the prayer Ma'ariv Aravim. Tonight, the sun is setting on another year of great challenge and brings us the possibility, all the joy and delight that awaits us in the new year, God willing. As this day transitions into night, we remember that any fraying of our nerves or patience or compassion can be smoothed out, be evened out as we enter the peace of the night. Every moment can be an opportunity to let go of worn-out habits that no longer serve us. Every moment, an opportunity to begin again. Hi, la, 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 la. Hi, la, 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 la. Hi, la, 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 la. Hi, la, 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 la. Hi, la, 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 la. Hi, la, 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 la. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim. Evening, evening the frayed edges of our life. Ma'ariv, Haravim, Amen. Powerful sun full of radiant light.
Powerful sun full of radiant light.
Weave us a web that spins the night.
Weave us a web that spins the night.
Web of stars that holds the dark.
Web of stars that holds the dark.
Weave us the earth that feeds the spark.
Weave us the earth that feeds the spark.
Strand by strand, hand over hand.
Strand by strand, hand over hand.
Thread by thread, we weave the web.
Thread by thread, we weave the web.
Evening, evening the frayed edges of our lives. Ma'ariv, Haravim, Amen.
Amen.
In our tradition, one of our names for God is Ava Rabbah, a great love. Love love that permeates all time and space. Few, if any of us, experience love with our parents, our children, our partners, and pause to consider what a wonderful Jewish spiritual practice this is. And that's okay, but it is. Love is one of the vital doorways into a connection with the great mystery. This prayer reminds us of some of our central spiritual practices that we often take for granted. You can find it on our Tefillah page, number 5.
Ahava v'rachamim chesed v'shalom ahava v'rachamim chesed v'shalom ahava v'rachamim chesed v'shalom.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Listen, God wrestler, Adonai is our God. Adonai is one. The poet Wallace Stevens wrote, "The mind that in heaven created the earth, and the mind that on earth created the heaven, were, as it happened, one." The Shema is on page 6, and the Ve'ahavta follows on page 7. This meditation is on our Tefillah page number 6. Beautiful doorway into the depth of the Shema. Open up our eyes. Open up our eyes.
Open up our eyes.
Open up our eyes.
Teach us how to live.
Teach us how to live.
Fill our hearts with joy
And all the love you have to give.
Open up our eyes.
Open up our eyes.
Teach us how to live.
Teach us how to live.
Fill our hearts with joy
And all the love you have to give.
gather us in peace.
Gather us in
as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. We will know that we are one. We will know that all is one.
Whether your tradition is to stand for the Shema or sit, we are together. Let us make this sound together. Shema Yisrael
חייך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בעיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך.
You're invited to read silently my Rabbi, Reb Zalman Schachter Shalomi's translation of the traditional paragraph from the Torah directly following the Shema, V'hayim Shemoah, the last section on page 7. You can read it silently. Such powerful impression, Torah. One of our greatest prophets, Isaiah, wrote these words for us regarding Mi Chamocha, the prayer, Mi Chamocha. Again, please listen to how they resonate for us today. You're invited to join in with the response. We'll then move directly into Mi Chamocha, which is the last paragraph on page 8.
Ki tavo b'mayim itcha ani, Ki tavo b'mayim itcha ani. When you walk through the water, I'll walk with you. When you walk through the water, I'll walk with you. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
I'll walk with you.
I'll walk with you.
I'll walk with you.
I'll walk with you.
When you stand up on holy ground, I'll stand with you.
I'll stand with you.
When you stand up on holy ground, I'll stand with you.
I'll stand with you.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
I'll stand with you.
I'll stand with you.
I'll stand with you.
I'll stand with you.
When your journey brings you to my shore, I'll welcome you.
I'll welcome you.
When your journey brings you to my shore, I'll welcome you.
I'll welcome
Don't
you.
be afraid. Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
Al tira, al tira,
Al tira, al tira.
I'll welcome you.
I'll welcome you.
I'll welcome you.
I'll welcome you.
I'll stand with you.
I'll stand with you.
I'll walk with you.
I'll walk with you.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai.
Adonai.
Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh.
Bakodesh.
Lai, 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 lai. 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 Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Ai, lai, lai, lai. Ai, lai, 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 lai. Ai, lai, lai, lai. Ai, lai, lai, lai. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot oseh pele. Nora tehilot oseh pele. Hai, lai, lai, lai. Hai, lai, 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 lai. Hai, lai, lai, lai. Hai, lai, lai, lai.
This next tefillah contains one of the most compelling verses in the entire Torah. Our people had gone through so much. They went from receiving the Torah on Mount Sinai into the confusion and mistaken priorities of the golden calf. They feel alone in the wilderness, untethered, looking for some center, some groundedness. Sound familiar? Moses, Miriam, and Aaron believed that the people need a home, a sanctuary, a focal point for the community that does not know which way to turn. When they listen carefully to what they believe God wants, they hear these words that cascade down to us from across the generations, across time and space. Listen. Asu li mikdash, v'shachanti betocham. Make me a sanctuary, and I will dwell among you. But the Hebrew gives us a deeper meaning. The word betocham can mean among you, and it also means within you. Create a sacred space. Make space for what is sacred to you, and you will feel my presence. We who tonight seek sanctuary acknowledge our ability to open to the sacred and connect to it. The words can be found on our additional page, number 11. Please listen as Lord Ben begins And then when our Hazzanut group joins, please sing with us. If you're able, I invite you to rise in body or spirit, because it feels like a stronger place to connect to these words, if you wish. If you're good where you're seated, that's wonderful. The singing along part includes the people gathered here.
Ve'asu li mikdash ve'shechanti betocha v'anachnu nevarek Yah me'ata ve'ad olam. God, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Ve'asu li mikdash ve'shechanti betocham v'anachnu nevarek Yah me'ata ve'ad olam. God, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. God, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Thank you, Laura. Please be seated. Hashkivenu, which can be found on the top of page 9, is a prayer of comfort, a lovely lullaby, not just before the darkness of night, but a prayer that we feel God's presence during any dark times. It says, Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, spread over us the shelter of your peace.
Laila Tov, my sweet love, good night. How the moon and stars shine for you so bright. Rest now, my love. May your dreams be sweet. How my love for you reaches to infinity. How my love for you reaches to infinity. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Ve'hamideinu Malkeinu Alechaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Ve'hamideinu Malkeinu Alechaim Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha
Please rise in body or spirit for the Chatzi Kaddish on page 10. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah be'olama divra chirutei ve'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael b'hagala uvizman Kariv v'imru amen. Yesh merabah mevorach leolam uleomei omaya yitbarach yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei dekudesha berichu le'ela le'ela mikol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alema v'imru amen. We now come to the Amidah, the standing silent prayer on page 11. The text of the Amidah concludes on page 13. If the traditional Hebrew text of the prayer is unfamiliar or inaccessible, I'd like to suggest you take a look at the interpretive translations and poetry provided on pages 14 through 17. It's a beautiful dimension of this machzor. Many of us are not completely comfortable in opportunities for silent prayer. Silence can feel like darkness, place of not knowing what to do, and we often retreat into distracted thought. One entry into this time of silence comes from a deep place in the consciousness of the Jewish people. It comes from a sacred story in the Torah. The story involves Yaakov, Jacob, and his older twin, Esau. Separated for so long in bitterness, competitiveness, and rancor, they meet again at a time when Jacob has everything to lose. And with this awareness, Jacob experiences humility and seeks forgiveness not only from his brother, but from God. He says to God, Katonti mikol hachasadim umikol ha'emet. I am unworthy of all the kindness and faith that you've shown to me, dear God. When I left home, I crossed this river with nothing but a staff. And now I return with enough for 2 camps. Rescue me, I pray, from the hand of my brother. I am afraid of what tomorrow might bring. Listen to a melody for these words as we prepare ourselves for the truth we might encounter in the silence to come.
קטונתי מכל החסדים ומכל האמת אשר עשית את עבדך.
קטונתי מכל החסדים ומכל האמת אשר עשית את עבדך.
במקלי עברתי את הירדן, טעיתי לפני מחנות, הצילני נא, הצילני נא, הצילני נא.
במקלי עברתי את הירדן, טעיתי לשני מחנות, הצילני נא, הצילני נא, הצילני נא. כי חסדך גדול עליי, כי חסדך גדול עליי, והצלת, והצלת נפשי משול תחתיה. במקלי עברתי את הירדן, טעיתי לשני מחנות, הצילני נא, הצילני נא, הצילני נא. במקלי עברתי את הירדן, טעיתי לשני מחנות, הצילני נא, הצילני נא, הצילני נא. קטונתי מכל החסדים ומכל האמת. האמת.
Amen. Amen. So now, please take some time in the silence for Amidah and personal reflection. And if this is better done seated, please listen to your bodies. we enter into our prayer for peace, a prayer that we need and the world needs at this moment. I wonder if we can pray with joy for this peace, this peace.
Hi la 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 la, hi la 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 la, hi la 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 la, hi la 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 la, hi la 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 la, hi la 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 la, hi la 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 la, hi la 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 la. Oh, say shalom b'roma. Say shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru Amen. Hay la 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 la, hay la 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 la. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la.
Our sages teach, sound fills the soul as water and food feed the body. Through sound, we pour all of our longings, our frustrations, our grief, and our joy into the mystical container called life, so it can be transformed into a nectar that is sweet and powerful at the same time. On page 20, second paragraph, we sing one of the deepest prayers of these Yamim Noraim, Shema Kolenu. Call and response, source of all blessing. Hear our voices. May we have the courage to speak the truths to the people we love. Shema, Shema,
Shema, Shema,
Kolenu,
Kolenu,
Shema, Shema,
Shema, Shema,
Kolenu,
Kolenu,
Shema,
Shema, Shema,
Kolenu,
Kolenu,
Shema, Shema,
Shema, Shema,
Shema, Shema,
Shema, Shema,
Kolenu,
Kolenu,
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 Shema, Shema,
Shema, Shema,
Shema, Shema,
Shema, Shema,
Kolenu.
Kolenu.
The prayer Rachamana is on page 20, third line from the bottom. It's a prayer that we have compassion for the brokenhearted. The intense, urgent quality of this tefillah reminds us of our tribal origins. Please join in with our Hazzanut group.
Rahamana. 'Rahamana Deyane, 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 'Ra
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzvaot, Melo chol haaretz kivodo. Holy, 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 the whole world is filled with God's magnificence. The Kotzker Rebbe taught, where is God? Wherever God is allowed in. You can find this prayer for holiness on our Tefillah page, number 1.
Holy, 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 holy. Holy is the silence, and holy is the sound. Holy is each one of us, and holy is the ground. Holy, 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 holy. Holy, 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 holy,
Holy is the silence, and holy is the sound. Holy is each one of us, and holy is the ground. Kadosh, 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 Kadosh. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melocho, Haaretz Kivodo. Holy, 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 holy. Holy is the silence, and holy is the sound. Holy is each one of us, and holy is the ground. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melocho. Haaretz Kivodo. Holy, 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 holy.
I'm about to share some words of Torah with you, and then we'll pray for healing, support those who are grieving, and end in joyous song. Shana Tova. One of the great privileges that I have as rabbi of this community is to have your attention. During the course of the year, on many occasions, I get to have your attention. Some of the most precious times are one-to-one. When those of you who are comfortable enough with me to come to share a question, a burden, a challenge, a sorrow. The gift is in the sharing. Most often, I do not have any special wisdom to share with you. I'm not that wise. I do hold precious the trust, the vulnerability, the pain, and even the suffering that you share with me. I hold it precious because I know that there is great value in sharing these feelings. And often some of these feelings have nowhere else to be shared. I'm not always able to be fully present with you when you come with what you have to share. But I am aware of my responsibility of showing up in these moments, and I do my best. To me, to share these moments is sacred, and I treasure each one. There are times when I get to facilitate the sacred for special moments in the lives of the people of this community. Baby namings, b'nai mitzvah, weddings, funerals, and memorial services. I love this work. To share in and co-create sacred moments is the greatest gift of this work for me. And then there are moments like this, when I have the attention of a good part of the community altogether. Every year as I prepare for these high holy days, I ask myself, what do I think the community needs to hear? And what do I have to share? What did I learn that I feel is worth sharing with you during this precious time? Like so many rabbis around the country, this has been one of the most difficult years to contemplate these questions. I think that one of the most important questions of this moment is, what have we learned? What are we learning from this pandemic? It's hard to pause and consider this when we're still in the middle of it. But I encourage you to spend some time thinking about it and asking your loved ones. This is how we can stay connected to meaning in a time of so much stress and anxiety. So here are some of my thoughts. What I've learned is how much we need one another. When we first began doing services online, Zoe and I, we didn't know what to expect. We'd just begun leading together, and we believed that what we had to share was our love and connection to one another. I know that in the beginning, people showed up out of need to connect, albeit virtually. Zoe and I both love prayer, and we found it enormously enriching to share our love of prayer and our love of each other with all of you. I think it is quite obvious that leading with Zoe has changed the way I lead prayer, and I am so grateful for this. We feel it every Friday night, how much we all need each other. This summer, before the Delta variant emerged and many of us were feeling a little less fearful and more optimistic, the leadership of this community invited anyone who wanted to join together in groups to take the temperature of our community. to listen carefully to where our people are and what we need to do to move forward together. Now, some of you rightly said, how can the leaders of the community conduct such an inquiry? Some of us won't be willing to express our deepest concerns with you, the leaders facilitating the process. That's fair. And amazingly, the response to participate was great. Easily double what our consultant told us we could expect. We heard so many important things, much of which we knew. The most repeated positive comment was the appreciation of friendships people had made here at Beth Chaim and for the gift of community. Can I get an amen? Amen? Okay. I will just say personally that I was so gratified, humbled, to hear how many of you appreciate my efforts as rabbi, especially around facilitating sacred moments for members of our congregation and for whatever support I've been able to provide. There was great appreciation expressed for the inclusivity of this community and for the way we welcome interfaith families and participate in the wider community in interfaith activities. The other significant positives were the Beit Midrash, our school, and our amazing new principal, Shelby Mayer Margolin, and of course, our brotherhood and our sisterhood. And we heard the issues people had with the community. It was challenging to hear that a good number of you said that my teachings were not balanced and contained a one-sided message and that we needed more perspectives. I believe this relates to my politics. And please don't think that I did not take this seriously. Criticisms of me included that the services were too long and not compelling enough, and just as many folks said that they appreciated the shorter stream services this past year and a half. Those might be the same folks who said that the services before COVID were too long, but some of you rightfully were concerned about a rabbinic succession plan, and some of you just plain wanted a new rabbi. The board heard all of this and is paying attention, as am I. What was fascinating was the number one thing that appeared on the wish list. Think for a second about what that might be for you. Okay, you want to hear what it was? Okay. Make more special interest groups for programs. Number one. And that is incredible because it's so doable. All we need is for you to step forward and say what it is you want, and it will be offered. Of course, then enough people have to say, yes, I want this too. But it doesn't have to be very many. We are small enough that if 4 or 5 people want to do something, we can offer our support to make it happen. Administrative support, space, publicity, you name it. All we need to know is where your passion and interests lie, and we can bring it to the entire community. That is why we are here. And the next biggest thing on the wish list, and another thing that was concerning people, a significant thing that was concerning people, was our financial struggle and stability. And the real question is, how can we mobilize the energy of this community to help us find this stability? So a few thoughts about our financial struggle. I have served this community for most of my adult life. I am in the last stage of that service. I am so proud of so much of what we have done together. We chose to build a physical center, a makom, an actual home for Jews here in this area in our valley. So many gave so much to enable us to build this home. All the professional consultants told us we couldn't do it. It was a Herculean effort, and against all odds, we did it. And in building this home, which we love so much, we assumed a financial debt that has been a tremendous burden to us for the past 14 years. Let's be frank. We live in a community that is blessed with great financial resources. I consider it my greatest failing as a rabbi of this community that we have not been able to convince our members that this community is worth investing in order to relieve our debt. People with resources in our community that I have great respect for have told me the following: I don't know if this community will survive, and I don't want to throw good money after bad. And I know that this is fear speaking. That fear can prevent us from becoming who we might be as a community. And people have said to me, I don't know if my children or grandchildren will ever be able to afford to live here. Many of those children are now living with you, or still accepting your support, and some have been fully launched and are finding their way back here. We are the future of Judaism in this part of the valley. And with all due respect, Chabad is not. So we have to figure this out, my friends. And there's no time like the present. We will be looking for my successor as part of our strategic plan. Not going to happen tomorrow. But if we want to attract and find the right rabbi, dynamic young rabbi, to come to this synagogue, they're going to need to be paid enough to live in this community. No rabbi worth his or her salt will come to a congregation that can't figure out how to put its financial house in order, no matter how noble the reason was that such a debt was incurred. Some of you have said to us, look, I don't want to be very involved in the community, but I support a Jewish presence here, and I will financially support Beth Chaim. That is wonderful. Thank you for your vision that is bigger than your own personal self-interest. We need you. We are building a dynamic new school under the direction of Shelby Mayer Margolin, a young woman who grew up here at Beth Chaim and for whom the love of Judaism was implanted within her at Beth Chaim, as it was for so many of our young people. Our school and the Tree of Life preschool are going to irrigate Jewish values and Jewish pride for Jewish and interfaith families who choose to join us now and for generations to come. Generations. This is our vision. This was the vision when we built this beautiful home, and that remains our vision moving forward. We need your energy. We need you to see this community as yours, your Jewish spiritual home. We need you to invite other Jewish families and interfaith families looking for a Jewish home into this home, our home. We need to create a home that your adult children that are now living with you, living in Walnut Creek, living anywhere near here, want to join because they can get together and plan a future here with their friends for their own families. We need to reach out to the disaffected who have left Beth Chaim for all sorts of good and not so good reasons. We need to say to them, we want you back. And we are asking your forgiveness for whatever slight or offense caused you to leave. This is where you're living. This is your community. We will all be enriched by your return. We need to say to all of the Jewish families who send their kids to the wonderful Tree of Life preschool here, you have given your babies a warm and loving Jewish environment. Bless you. Don't they deserve to continue to be held and loved by their Jewish community? Join us. Be a part of the Jewish future here in the valley. For those who are worried about anti-Semitism, and there is good reason, the strongest statement you can make is to stand with us, to claim our right to be Jewish and to be proud in this great country, however polarized it is at this moment. For those of you who ask us, what flavor of Judaism are you? You're not Reform, you're not conservative, or even that Reconstructionist, whatever that means. If you don't want to talk about radical inclusivism, our joyful celebration of Jewish life, our teaching the joys of Jewishing to our children, the cohesion of our brotherhood and sisterhood, just say, we are Judaism reimagined. A Judaism that considers interfaith families one of our proud treasures. A Judaism that does not encourage our families to observe Shabbat, but to celebrate Shabbat. A Judaism that no longer measures whether you're a good Jew by how often you pray or how many Jewish laws you keep, but rather by how kind and caring and loving you are. How you participate in caring for Jews and non-Jews in need. How proud you are of your Judaism, however you understand that to mean. Before we go out to invigorate our community in all of these ways, we need to do some deep thinking about this, what this community means to us. Ask yourself, in what ways does this community enrich your life, the life of your family, and we together can be that Judaism reimagined. Ken Yehi Ratzon, so may it be. Amen.
summer's gone, nights grow cold. These are the days of all. The shofar blows with bread in hand down to the sea. We take time, give thanks, and cast our sadness free, that we may start fresh, that we may come clear, that we may know sweetness and peace throughout the year, that we may find love where we need it most, and open our hearts and hands and draw each other close. A day to fast and count the ways we've promised and fallen short. We meet each other's gaze, begin again. Life won't wait. Time turns till we return and walk on through the gate, that we may start fresh, that we may come clear, that we may know sweetness and peace throughout the year, that we may find love when we need it most, and open our hearts and hands and draw each other close. Under the moon, a roof of trees, we bring in the harvest. Beneath the stars we eat and sing for joy. Make ourselves strong. We reap what we've sown. It lasts all year long, that we may start fresh, that we may come clear, that we may know sweetness and peace throughout the year, that we may find love when we need it most, and open our hearts and hands and draw each other close, and open our hearts and hands and draw each other close.
Amen. What a blessing. And Rachel Mazur could share this lovely New Year tefillah with us. There is a special psalm among all the 150 psalms that we sing throughout the sacred cycle of holy days. Psalm 27, Achat Sha'alti, which means, there is only one thing I ask of you, God, in this vulnerable time. It is a desire for deep connection for all that is sacred in our lives. You can find it at the top of page 26.
Achat sha'alti me'et Adonai שאלתי אותה אבקש, אחת שאלתי מאת אדוני, אחת שאלתי אותה אבקש, שבתי שבתי בבית אדוני, שבתי שבתי כל ימי חיי, שבתי שבתי בבית אדוני, שבתי שבתי כל ימי חיי, לחזות בנועם אדוני ולקר בהיכלות, לחזות בנועם אדוני, to gaze upon the beauty of Adonai. One thing I ask you, Adonai, to be with you all of my life. אחת שאלתי מאת אדוני, אחת שאלתי אותה אבקש.
The top of page 27, we come to Avinu Malkeinu, deeply beloved prayer of these Yamim Noraim, these high holy days. All who are able, please rise in body or spirit. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu Anenu, Ki ein banu masim, Aseh imanu, Tzedaka v'chesed, Aseh imanu, Tzedaka v'chesed, ve'oshienu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu v'anenu, ki ein banu masim, Aseh imanu, Tzedaka v'chesed, Aseh imanu, Tzedaka v'chesed, ve'oshienu. Have a seat. We sing Misha Berach, middle of page 27, for all those in our hearts tonight who are in need of these prayers of healing. Please take a moment. Consider who you'd like to hold wrap this prayer around.
Mi shebera avotenu mekor habraha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us to find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi shebera imotenu mekor habraha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Amen. Amen. When Jacob was quite old, he had the nachas, the pleasure of meeting his grandsons, Ephraim and Manasseh, who were raised by Joseph and his wife as Egyptian children. Jacob had thought that Joseph was dead, so this meeting is unexpected and especially sweet. Jacob probably saw something of his long-deceased beloved Rachel in the two boys. He certainly saw Joseph in their shining faces. In the Torah, this was the prayer he offered his grandchildren. How many people here have grandchildren? Raise your hands. How many people here dream of having grandchildren? Tonight, we offer this prayer. It's number 4 on our tefillah page. We offer it to our grandchildren, all of our grandchildren, now and in the future.
May the angel who keeps them from harm bless the ones who come after. May the angel who keeps me from harm bless the ones who come after. Amalach hagoel oti mikora yivarech et hane'arim. Amalach hagoel oti mikora yivarech et hane'arim. May the angel who keeps me from harm bless the ones who come after. May the angel who keeps me from harm bless the ones who come after. Amalach hagoel oti mikora yivarech et hane'arim. Amalach hagoel oti mikora yivarech et hane'arim. May the angel who keeps me from harm bless the ones who come after. May the angel who keeps me from harm bless the ones who come after.
We turn to page 29 for the Kaddish Yatom, Mourner's Kaddish. As we always do, we ask all those who are in the first year of mourning the loss of a close loved one to please rise to honor their memories. Anyone observing a yard site, invited to rise. We know the tenderness of standing for the first Rosh Hashanah after having lost a loved one. Please feel our hearts embrace yours. We also invite anyone who feels the need to say the Kaddish tonight to rise. As we say, Zichronam Livracha, may their memories forever be a blessing in our lives. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shmei Rabbah v'yomad divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam u'leomei omaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal Shemei dekurishah
Brichu.
Le'ela u'le'ela mikol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran bi'alma v'imru.
Amen.
Yehi Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru.
Amen.
Zecher, 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 Tzadeket livracha, livracha. May, their memories bless our days. Bless our days. Amen. Jonathan Kaur, President of Beth Chaim, has some brief closing announcements. Right here, Jonathan.
Lashana Tova. It's truly wonderful to see so many people in person tonight and hearing Rabbi Dan, Eve, Drew, and Zoe sing so beautifully in person is really special. We are off to the start of a great new year. Services tomorrow morning will begin at 9:30, both in person and online. There are still some seats available for tomorrow morning's service, so if you changed your mind and you'd like to attend in person and feel the energy, even if you've not RSVP'd, please arrive with your vaccination card and a photo ID in hand, and love to welcome you into the synagogue. As a reminder, masks must be worn at all times while indoors. Tomorrow afternoon, from 2:30 to 3:15, we will have a children's service outdoors on the patio. And we've got a very special surprise. Dina, the dinosaur, will be joining us for that service, so you don't want to miss it. RSVPs are not needed, and all guests are welcome. Late tomorrow afternoon, from 5 to 6, we'll have a short tashlich and shofar service outdoors on the patio. Please join us in person to hear the shofar, and again, no RSVP is needed, and guests are welcome. So again, children's service at 2:30, shofar service at 5 o'clock, both outdoors, no RSVP, and as a reminder, these services will only be in person, not online. This coming Sunday, September 12th, we'll be building our beautiful sukkah together. It's been a long time since we've put it together. We need as many hands on deck, so please come and help in the fun and this meaningful project. We'll begin after Sunday school at 1 p.m. this coming Sunday, September 12th. Please see the happenings for further details about this great event. And finally, look forward to an email from Beth Chaim the day after Rosh Hashanah, this Wednesday, September 8th, where you'll be able to RSVP for Kol Nidre and all Yom Kippur services. Please RSVP early and sending your vaccination card. We do think with our limited COVID capacity, we'll plan to have full attendance for both of those services. Thank you again, and Lashana Tova.
Shana
Shana Tova.
Thank you. Thank you, Jonathan. For our final prayer, I invite you to stay after the service. Don't rush out of this place. Stay in this tender place of tefillah if you can. If anything has touched your heart, please hold it close. Talk with others who might understand, whom you trust. Carry it into tomorrow morning when we continue the journey. L'shana tova tikatevu. Please turn to page 28, last paragraph. We conclude with Hayom, a powerful tefillah of affirmation. Anyone who feels called to is invited to rise. Life.
Te'amtzenu hayom, tevarchenu hayom, tegadlenu, amen. Hayom, te'amtzenu hayom, tevarchenu hayom, tegadlenu, Hayom tidrashenu letova, Hayom tichtelenu lechaim tovim, Hayom tishma shavatenu, Amen. Hayom te'amsenu hayom, telachenu hayom, tegalenu, Amen. Hayom tekabel erachamim uratzon et tefilatenu, Hayom titmechenu b'mitzidkecha, Amen. Hayom te'amsenu hayom, tevarchenu hayom, tegalenu, Amen. Hayom te'amsenu hayom, tevarchenu hayom, tegalenu, Amen. 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 Amen.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.